Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But the fire's so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's cook.
Let's review.
Oh yes, let's cook up Christmas specials for Breaking Bad
Yo.
here on a special What If edition of Christmas in July, everyone. Oh god. What the hell are we doing, Blue Dragon 5? It's come to this. It's come to the hypothetical Breaking Bad Christmas. Are we off our knocker or what?
Smidge.
Just a smidge? Just a little bit? Just a little bit?
Just a smidge.
Alright, well you notice I'm wearing the customary blue shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a fun one. We did a kind of a similar what if for Frozen a while back in Christmas in July. That was pretty fun. But now we're going to get to the creme de la creme. So, Blue Dragon 5, you want to kind of kick us off for what we're going to be doing?
Sure. Essentially, Tiki and I are big fans of the show Breaking Bad, and kind of noticed you got a lot of really memorable family dynamics there. And the thing just kind of struck us was, what would these people do around Christmas time? Because the only inkling we ever got from Breaking Bad around Christmas time is they did a really good job of keeping it really ambiguous to when the holiday was. Usually summer, but it's Albuquerque, so it always looks kind of warm.
Right.
It's near deserts for crying out loud. But we've only seen like a picture of Walt in a Santa suit. So it's the only inkling of Christmas we've ever really gotten. So the idea just kind of dawned on us. What would these people do around Christmas, around the holidays? I mean, usually shows have like a setting around a holiday or have a holiday special. Breaking Bad did not, because it was all story based and focused. But what if there was a fun holiday episode, or like an experience? What would these characters do around the holidays? We tried best we could to think about what that was, and also we tried to put that in context of where it could possibly be during the series. Now, again, very story-based and very concise storytelling, so there's not much room and leeway for that. However, what we did do...
This is very give or take. We had to definitely pull some hypotheticals, some what-ifs with this sort of stuff.
Because I think the only actual time there might have been time to do a Christmas thing was when Walt wasn't even in the picture. That's probably the only time we would have had a Christmas special. So, I mean, what's the point of doing one without Walt in it?
Right.
So we bent some rules here and there, but I think we both kind of tried to put it best we could. So maybe a few sequences out of order here and there, or at least like for me at least, I basically said, like, what if there was a bigger gap in between things? So basically, where we end up at summer, but it's
That's pretty
past.
much what I did too. That's pretty much our general idea. We pretty much had like a specific time in the Breaking Bad timeline that we sort of just extended to squeeze in a Christmas special.
Exactly. So it is placed within the continuity, but of course things aren't going to entirely match up. So we're well aware of that, people. So
Right.
don't overrule us on that one. Okay, just bear in mind this is in the grand scheme of things, it's a what if. It's like a what if Christmas special for Breaking Bad. But
Yes.
this is a far-fetched concept as it is, so don't go poking too much logic in. But we're going to take this as seriously as we can. Like, what would a Christmas special be like for these characters? Some ideas we have. So humble speculation always.
Well, I don't know about you, Blue Dragon 5, but I strongly feel like my Christmas special has a very potent mix of comedy and drama. You might say, I cooked up a good batch of Christmas spirit.
No flies in the mix at all.
Oh God, I hope not. Okay, so whenever we do kind of direct ears or anything like that, we usually like to flip a coin to see who goes first. So you want to do that, Blue Dragon 5?
I'm sure. What do we got in terms of coin faces here?
Well, I've got my 64-65 rolled fair coin. It's kind of hard to see, but that is the Unisphere side.
Okay, what's the other side?
And then this is the this is the New York State exhibit side. Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
Give me New York.
New York. Okay. Oh, you got it. All right.
Okay, so my first get an idea for bringing back. I had two ideas, but guess we could sandwich them if you want to.
Well, why don't you just kind of mention that scene that you were kind of telling me about off air and kind of start us off?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's kind of in kind of weird reverse order, but okay. I came up with two ideas for Christmas. Something I should mention. There is technically one thing of Breaking Bad Christmas that does exist and kind of influence my second idea. A fan was either contacted by Bryan Cranston or just did something for Bryan Cranston. I'm not quite sure, but I was looking on Google Images for Breaking Bad Christmas. I just figured, no, what else? And I found a fan had made a DVD. Basically, it's an empty DVD. There's no physical DVD, but basically a cover. Like, what if there were a Breaking Bad animated Christmas special, and that there was the poster. And Tiki and I joked once off air previously of like, well, if there were a Christmas Carol with the Breaking Bad characters, what would it be? How would it go? Like, who would be who? And it kind of got me thinking. That mixed with that poster, particularly the characters featured on that poster, that anime poster, which hopefully will be our debut image for the video.
Yes, it
Will kind of influence me. Like, what if we could somehow get kind of a Christmas Carol vibe with Breaking Bad, essentially? And
I think it's very possible. I think Breaking Bad and Christmas Carol have more in common than you might expect.
now I'm gonna prerequisite this. This idea is pretty much it's out there, but I think it'd be really cool. And basically, I'm thinking if you're gonna do Breaking Bad, so you gotta really make it count. So basically, I did kind of the most ultimate visually thrilling thing I could do with Breaking Bad because they're known for their stunning visuals and their style.
Uh-huh.
So in terms of placing, real quick, so it's this is set in season 5, the first half of season 5.
Okay.
This is kind of like split, like in the middle of the final episode of that half season.
Is this when Vamonos is still going strong?
Yeah, Vamonos is going strong. This is right after that montage of so Walt is killed.
Right after Crystal Blue.
Yeah, so yeah, people of
Persuasion.
I should mention this episode's title in my mind, and again, it's complete coincidence because that poster has the same title pretty much. It's complete coincidence, bearing in mind that, because I came up with the title before that. I reworked the episode to be like that poster.
Uh-huh.
Point is, it's called A White Christmas. Get it?
God.
Anyway, so yeah, so it's set. I wanted to, again, I kind of mixed things as much as I could. So essentially, months go by when Walt's thriving in the cash. Once Vamonos is operating at full force, Jesse has left the business at this point, so he hasn't gotten the money yet from Walt. So that was kind of the thing I was on the fence of, but I didn't give him the money yet.
Okay.
This is before Skylar is kind of showing Walt that he's made too much money.
Sure.
This is before she convinces him to get out of the business. So point is, the point is, right after that Crystal Blue persuasion they months have gone by, so basically by proxy, so now we're at Christmas time with one of those. It sounds logical enough, Months go by, maybe Christmas. Anyway, so we have to make up to year 50. We have to get to the 52nd year of Walt's life somehow, don't we? Anyway, so let me see if I'm trying to make this as concise as I can. So the essential premise of this is So Walt is thriving in success. Again, he ordered the hit out on the prison crew. So Walt's growing really powerful right now. And meanwhile, Hankey's starved for leads. Marie's very festive around the holidays. She's kind of a bright spot of the special.
Mm-hmm.
We see Skylar. She's still kind of overwhelmed and bothered by everything. Basically, she's still kind of troubled by the fact she has no say about the kids and what. This is before the kids were moved back in too, by the way. This is right before that they were moved back in.
Oh, okay. So they're still with the Schraders.
Yeah. So I figure, they're still with the Schraders. So I figured again, this is kind of a stretch, and maybe a few more months went by after Christmas before they were let back with Walt.
Okay.
And that's in a summary setting, so I'm saying more months pass. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, so we see Walt. I would have like a scene where Walter Jr. is kind of envying Lewis and his. Lewis and his. I would actually show Lewis scene with Walter Jr. and Lewis saying, "I envy how your you and your family. Because basically, Walt's been distant. The main point of the special, just getting down to the bullet points here. Walt has been a little distracted from the success of the business, and he's been kind of putting the family aside because he's just been enveloped in the success in this business. So he's kind of pride getting the best.
You got the traditional overworked dad storyline going on.
Pretty much, and essentially, it's more so like Walt's vanity has gotten the best of him. So now he's successful, and this is like he's lost sight of his goals. This is for the family. Well, true in the grand scheme, it's for him, but actually, it feeds into that. This is for him more so than it's for the family now. At this point, so the point is, we never saw Walt. It was always a reveal on Breaking Bad, and that's post this episode where we find out Walt has his cancers come back. So I'm saying here's when we actually see his cancers come back.
Okay.
So we see Walt. He's been keeping this secret, so he's known longer than we see in the series, which was assumed anyway. So Walt, he goes to the doctor to get some more cancer treatment. They're doing like some sort of exploratory thing on him to look at the cancer, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm no doctor, so I need to put him under for something. So that was my reasoning.
Sure.
So the premise of this episode is, and this is my main scene here, my big old cruxy scene here.
Oh boy.
Is that Walt is going under, and these issues are writhing around his head, so he has a dream sequence.
Oh God.
And essentially, here's where the Christmas Carol is. So, also, yeah, okay, so we start we're in the dream sequence, and it's going to be really Christmas Carol-y. And this, I'm going to pride myself by saying, this would be really costly, and it'd be difficult to do, but it would look so good and appease every Breaking Bad fan ever. I'm really proud of this.
All right.
So let's see. So the dream sequence starts. Basically, the whole thing is in black. So like the whole background, it's a Walt against a black background. Every character is against the black background, pretty much. So first of all, we isn't that?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so we start the episode. We see Walt with hair from the first episode.
Okay.
And it's right when right when the cancer first strikes him.
Right,
so we
right.
see Walt at the car wash, and then he falls down. And we see it from his perspective, and then we kind of transition. We kind of fade into the scene. We're all at Walt's perspective, so we're focused on Walt during all these transitions. And then now he's sitting in the doctor's office getting the diagnosis. And then everything moves around Walt pretty much for these scene transitions. So then he's at his birthday party. We're talking Hank. So basically, all the issues that kind of led up to the moment of the success are passing through Walt's mind. And also the background too, by the way, would be in addition to this black background, it would be snowing blue meth. Because I love that visual. They did it once, and I love that visual. It'd be snowing blue meth, the whole
just
background.
One taste, and you will know.
Anyway, so then we get to the scene. Again, it's all black and that snowy blue meth. The rule's striking visually in my mind.
Oh, sure.
So we get to the moment where Walt is basically, it's a black background, but still that pole's there, and we see him strangling Crazy 8, and he's killed him. But then, kind of Sin City style, he comes back to life, and he's talking to Walt.
Oh, God.
I'm playing this really psychologically, pretty much. So he comes to life, and essentially he represents kind of. He's pointing out to Walt. He's the ghost of Christmas past, pretty much. And what he's saying is he's pointing out how bloodthirsty Walt's. Remember, Crazy 8 was Walt's first. Well, technically, the first one was an accident. He was his real first hands-on kill.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it just kind of pointing out how bloodthirsty Walt has become, and basically then by the way, we hear stuff too during these, and we hear in the background Walt saying that's chemistry speech, basically saying chemistry is transformation.
Oh God!
So it's packing on kind of the symbolism here.
Right.
Basically, it's pointing at, you didn't know you had the stones to kill me. It's become easier for you, hasn't it? Pretty much, something along those lines. Anyway, so then we also Walt. The big thing with this also would be, again, we're in season 5 now. We're getting close to the ending of Walt, and we know if the cancer's coming back, Walt's going to die soon. So basically, this whole thing also hints at all the potential deaths of Walt. So like the RV is driving down. Again, this is visually expensive, but the RV with the pants flying too in the air. By the way,
Oh, of course, you gotta have the
the
fan.
RV. It looks like the RV runs Walt over for a second, but then it just kind of fades. He's still alive.
Okay.
You know, like, it fades around him as it strikes him. You know.
Right, right.
And then Tuco appears behind him, and then like Tuco grabs a knife and he's about to stab Walt, but then like falling from the sky is fulminated mercury, and then he blows on to the next scene. And then and then during that, we see a flashback to one of my favorite scenes of Breaking Bad, the heartfelt moment we had with Junior talking about his father. Again, we're kind of transitioning from past now. So this is Walt. This is Walt finding out that he's been distanced from the family. He's kind of forgetting what this is all truly for in his mind. Basically, the moment he had with his son, basically saying, the weaknesses of my father. Walt's being faced with his own weaknesses here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then we hear 2 cell phone rings. Hence, homage to the second cell phone.
Sure.
We hear like the house phone ring, then we hear the cell phone ring. So, then we're in the present, and we see Walt's on an operating table, and he's on his side. Like when he had the cancer thing done to him, the removing of the tumors. And we see who the doctor is behind a surgical mask. It's Skylar.
Oh boy.
And basically, she's the ghost of Christmas Present.
Symbolism.
Yes, and she's basically has a little speech about like how basically, Walter, what happened? Do you see how your lies basically cut how deep the hurt is how they cut into us, how they scar us?
Sure.
This is how you're, and basically you focus on Walt's face, and basically you see like you'd hear like the snips as she's inside him.
Oh, I can totally picture it.
And basically saying how they cut us and scar us. And then we see then basically a transition. We see the scar that's still on Walt's side. He still has in the show. Anyway, so then we go to the other Ghost of Christmas Present as we're transitioning here with this character, Hank. And this is a creepy scene. This is a scary one. So Hank's literally like that Ghost of Christmas Present from the original one.
Right.
So Hank is like, we see, as I mentioned about transformation earlier, Hank is kind of representing that here, how Walt's changed. So basically, we see Hank transition right in front of Walt. So kind of like that ghost transition to a skeleton in the original.
Sure.
So basically, we see Hank. He's standing up there. He's like he's a dumb jock. Then we say, "Oh, hey, Walt, hey, buddy, how's it going?" And then he's kind of transitioning. Then we see him broken from the Tuco incident, like he's having a panic attack in front of Walt. And then right in front of Walt, and this is symbolism again. Mind you, if this was in the particular setting of right before the second half of season 5, this is kind of going to hint that Hank's going to die.
Oh,
so
okay.
we see Hank getting gunned down by the brothers pretty much. He's like bullet wounds are suddenly appearing on him, and he falls in Walt's arms, bleeding.
Right.
And looking at him right in the eye. And then we see kind of the bullet wounds disappear as he stands right up in front of Walt, and then he gets taller. And basically, now Walt's like on his knees, like he fell backwards. Now he's looking up at Hank, like he's taller and more powerful. Basically, you see that Hank is now becoming more dangerous, like it's foreshadowing that he's going to eventually catch you, that he's gonna get you soon.
Right.
He basically says, "You thought you could hide from me, Heisenberg, but I found you, didn't I, Walt?" And then, now mind you, remember he did. Now in the way this is set, Mike has been killed by Walt, so this is the main reason he's really thinking of this stuff too. Like the death of Mike, and how powerful he's gotten is really triggering all these emotional conflicts in his mind right here.
Sure.
So Mike's death was recent, pretty much. It was impactful, most likely. And then Mike has a really creepy bit, too, where Mike says, and Mike's just standing right in front of Walt as now Hank has just morphed into Mike after like some dust has passed over. Basically says, I told you this would blow up in your face. It's only a matter of time, Walter.
Yeah.
And here's the cool part.
In time, Bob Walter, tick, 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 ticking away.
Yeah, but even better, Tiki, you hear the watch that he had, the blue meth watch, ticking, because you would hear that tick at the end of that one episode.
Right.
Basically, when he says that, it's ticking in the background. symbolizing that Walt's time is running out from the cancer. Anyway, so, plus like things are gonna blow up in his face soon.
Oh yeah.
And then the thing that kind of you're expecting an explosion. What you hear though is the ding of a bell.
Oh boy.
Ding of a ding of like 2 bells, and then like on the third ring, it turns into like a giant like boom, boom, and it's a Salamanca. Just we're transitioning through future, and basically you just hear the bells pretty much. You don't see the guy. You hear the bells, and then it turns into giant funeral bells.
Uh-huh.
Then oh boy, the Ghost of Christmas Future. This is the fun part. We see this hooded figure, and then he
Is it Badger?
No, it's not Badger. this hooded figure, he's turned to his left side, and he unhoods, and it's Gus.
Oh my!
And basically, he's commends Walt on his success, and
does he still have the face thing going on?
He does, but like he's turned to the left side right now.
Right.
Basically saying he commends him on his success, and basically, you won, Walter. Congratulations, you're thriving in business. Took me years to get to this level. But I have a question for you, Walt. I'm not doing it justice, but I'm just summarizing. But how long until one of your own associates turns on you, and you end up like this? It turns to him, and he's like half the face.
Right.
And basically, also he says like you'll be unrecognizable, as Gus is right now. Also, I should mention also right before that he would say like he'd be pointing at the obvious to Walter, saying you don't. There was a point when you feared for your family's life. You should ask yourself, do you still care? About your son, about your wife, your son, your infant daughter. And basically we see, I guess cartel guys. We see basically no, actually even better. I'm just coming up with this now. We see the Aryan guys, the Nazis, killing the family.
Oh boy.
In the background, like in the back of Walt's mind, symbolic, like like a spotlight behind Bryan Cranston, we see like the family getting killed and shot, and like Walter Jr. getting shot in the back of the head. Or basically, he'd be like looking to his father, saying, "Dad, why?
Why, Dad?"
Yeah, and then even better, it gets when he says unrecognizable. So now he said unrecognizable. He said unrecognizable. Remember, he just said before that one of your associates turns on you, and this is important. Jesse turns up from the background, and he basically shoots Walt in the back of the head, snapping him to the last scariest scene of all. So basically, that's implying that Jesse's going to turn on Walt soon. You get it? So this is stuff that's foreshadowing stuff that's going to happen in the second half of season 5.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, anyway, so the last thing, Walt has now been snapped into the last scene. It's going to be the scariest of all. A monster, almost a monster, appears in the shadows. This figure in a black hat comes in a shadowy face. You don't really get a good look at it. In a red shirt with a black jacket on, and just kind of comes out from the shadows. And once you get a good look at it in the light, it's Walt. But it's like the most. It's a really shadowy version of Walt as Heisenberg, and you barely see the face, but it's still there. Like you see the eyes through the glasses. That's about it.
Sure.
And basically, he'd be saying these 3 lines. And I love these 3 lines, the way I have them in here. So he basically says, "I'm the one who knocks." And then he basically knocks Walt down, and then he steps on his neck. He's still alive. And because Walt had that one line, as Heisenberg says, "I'm the one standing on your neck."
Uh-huh.
He's the one standing on your neck, and then his last words would be to Walt, like looking terrified on the ground, by the way. Looking on in horror at what he's become, saying, "Say my name." And then Walt just wakes up. Yeah? And then, just to tie it in with the last bit here, it is like back to the episode. So, after this revelation, Walt would have kind of realized, I need to bring this back to the family, and this is kind of the sadly realistic part of the thing. At this point, he would have teamed up with Marie, and he and Marie would have tried to get the family together for a Christmas party, because Marie wants the family to get back together, as we see later on in that same episode.
Right.
She wants to get the family back together, and like Walt's. That's a rare team up. We don't see those two team up often.
No, not
And
really.
unfortunately, it fails because Walt Jr. Would be on board for this, but he's just kind of given up on his father at this point, saying, he doesn't. There's no hope for us. Like, I can't be like your family, Louis. Not anymore. So it's a sad. Basically, it's a sad Christmas, pretty much. So they're trying to get the family together. It's not working. Skylar she doesn't want to. She's still wary about it. Essentially, it's a failed attempt. And then in terms of Jesse, I just want to mention Jesse's the important part of this thing. So we see Jesse. He's been going around. He's been distancing himself from Andrea and Brock because he's worried for their safety. He doesn't want to get close to them because he's afraid something bad's going to happen, which eventually does happen. And again in season 5.
Oh yeah.
Second half. And we also see like Jesse's kind of. I always had this in mind for Christmas. Basically, Jesse's going door to door around people trying to get some connection during the holidays. And unfortunately, Badger and Skinny Pete, they have families, so he can't go there. He tries, but they say, "Oh man, I'm doing stuff with my family. I can't have you over, man. Sorry."
Oh, right.
And also, he goes to. There's a shot where he's standing outside of his parents' house for a moment, but then he just drives along. He considers it, but then the last thing he goes to Sal. A little bit of comedy in this dark special. He goes to Saul Goodman's Christmas party, which is getting kind of wild. Sal's hitting on the dispatch lady, the secretary.
Oh yeah, honey tits, HT.
yeah, we see Bill Burr's character. We see I forgot his name.
Oh, QB.
Yeah, QB. We see QB and Huel doing karaoke.
Oh god.
Yeah, stuff like that, fun stuff, and then Jesse stops by and Sal's like, "Oh hey, Pinkman, come in here," and basically welcome to the festivities. And Sal's picking up that Jesse's not doing too well. He's really depressed. Anyway, so Jesse kind of leaves, saying, "No, man, I'm out of here." At some point, and then the point is, after the holiday failed for Walt, he gets a call from Sal. 'Cause Sal's supposed to keep him informed. And Sal basically says, the kid's not looking too good. And by the way, I wanted to say one more thing. Skylar, she pointed out to Walt, kind of matter of factly, that you're the reason this family can't get together for Christmas. That's the reason they didn't show up. It's your fault, Walt. So again, a little bit of distaste for Skylar there, even my own right.
Yeah.
Boy, she's supposed to help him hit bottom, I guess. It basically spells out that it's your fault. You destroyed this family. That's why there's no Christmas anymore. I'd love to have Christmas, but I can't. I have no family anymore. Essentially. Anyway, so let's see. So he gets a call basically from Saul saying Jesse's not looking too good. You should look into it. And it's a Wonderful Life reference, I admit. Jesse is thinking about committing suicide.
Oh God.
And it's really a tense scene. And just to kind of reference how we end things in season 5, I suppose he'd be trying to do it via gun.
Sure.
Let they be on a bridge too. I want to be on a bridge though, or something. The point is, he's about to. Actually, be better. I wonder if Jane's place would still be available or not. It wouldn't be condemned or not.
If what?
I wonder if Jane's place would be condemned by now or not. Jane, Jesse's girlfriend.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Okay, how's this sound? Jane's place is condemned. He traced her down. He traced Jesse down at Jane's place, and basically he's going to kill himself where Jane died.
Sure.
But then Walt essentially talks him out of it, saying something along the lines of, Jesse says, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I can't stand all of this. It's right before he kind of... Jesse's been going a downward spiral since he left the business, and basically Walt's kind of saving Jesse here before he gives him the money, I guess. And basically says, listen, Jesse, in life we need to see things through. See them to the end. Basically this is kind of feeding into Walt's... kind of like Walt's kind of realizing through all this flashback and stuff that, well, the direction I could get my family together for the holidays, and just overall I've lost my family. Things aren't looking good right now. It's before he realizes I've made too much money. I've gotten too successful. So he's still a little bit vain. He isn't completely unscroogified.
Right.
But he's realizing it's kind of feeding into that whole "I did this for me" mentality that we got to see things through in life, Jesse. We don't know where we're going to end. We can't change our destinies, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially he kind of talks, he at least pacifies Jesse for now, and then This is going to feed into my first Christmas idea, but the point is, just remember this. Walt says, Walter wishes Jesse a Merry Christmas, and then Jesse doesn't respond. They just walk away from each other. So it's kind of a sad Christmas, but also playing on the song that would play from the ending of this episode to the end credits would be White Christmas.
Oh, God.
So it's kind of an ironic song. Like, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So it's kind of a darker holiday special in that Walt wanted to get the family together for this holiday after seeing what he's going to become. It's the opposite of, it's a bizarro holiday special. The character doesn't exactly learn something.
Oh, God. Okay.
And he doesn't win in the end. He gets a kind of a calm. He gets to keep on going, which I think would be kind of fitting for that character. He keeps on going, seeing things through, but it's not going to be a happy road.
Sure.
At least not yet.
Absolutely. That's totally like.
Not all Christmases are happy.
Walter White.
Basically, this is kind of the penance for Walt becoming so successful and becoming pretty much a supervillain by this season that he's not going to get a happy ending like he might have gotten in the past. You know, things are going to. He's trading his family for power, and he's going to pay the consequences for that in a big way.
Sure.
Essentially, that's the second one.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna just breeze through my idea really fast, and then if you can breeze through your first idea as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so the first one's funny. I think I should be able to do that.
Okay. Well, so I'm just gonna go character by character. So, this is gonna take place, kind of in that weird. It's just a little bit after where yours takes place, and it's in the spot like between season 5A and season 5B. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the time where Hank knows about Walt being Heisenberg but doesn't confront him about it.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of extend that into the Christmas season a little bit.
Basically, what if it was around December when Hank found out?
Exactly. So there's one problem, you know, it's like Walt, he's obviously, he's not telling Skylar, but Skylar knows what's up. You know, she pretty much at this point assumes that Hank somehow has some sort of intel. So, but, you know, Walt, he's been very, very dodgy of the Schraders recently. And, but the one problem is that Walt Jr., he has this Christmas tradition. Uncle Hank always has to come over and dress up as Santa Claus every year and deliver Christmas presents. And it's the one Christmas tradition that Walter Jr. just will not stand for them passing up. Like Uncle has to come by and deliver Christmas presents at Santa.
I like it.
But Uncle Hank has to come as Santa. It's a tradition. Okay, so that essentially leads to the whole, you know, basically, make a long story short, there's a whole bunch of uncomfortableness. Hank eventually confronts Walt. Basically what he does is he pulls out the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, and he's essentially like, he reads Gale's, he reads Gale's thing, like to W, and then he's like, oh, gee, Walt, so WW. Now, at this point, I'm really wondering, since I found this in your house and everything, what could that WW stand for? Well, I don't think we're going to bullshit around anymore. I don't think, Walt Whitman, yeah, fuck off. I know it's Walter White. I know Heisenberg is Walter White. And so and then essentially Walt just does kind of a mirror image of what he did, during the first of this confrontation, and just puts his hands up and says, "You got me." And then Hank essentially punches him square in the face, pushes him down, and then he says, "Yeah, you're goddamn right, and don't you forget it," and then just walks out.
Ooh. I'm not saying it's for the worst. I'm saying it's pretty cool.
And meanwhile, Skylar and Marie are having their own Christmas drama because Marie, she is just all wrapped up in the, she at this point knows about Walt being Heisenberg as well. She's acting all uppity, just ridiculous. And essentially her whole storyline is she's going around the White household, stealing everything she can get her hands on.
Oh, God.
And Skylar is noticing this, and it's very obvious, and that's what their whole storyline is. Basically.
Does she steal the caricatures on the wall?
Yes, she does.
But does she leave Walt? That's my question.
No, maybe she like just takes Walt and just throws it in the fireplace. And so basically the storyline ends with Marie, just confronting Skylar about, knowing about Walt.
Mm.
And then, essentially the Schraders leave and Skylar and Walt are just like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And then, of course to top it all off, Junior comes walking up and he's just like, well, that was sure a nice visit from Aunt Hank and from yeah, I'm sorry. Well, that was sure a nice visit from Aunt Marie and Uncle Hank, wasn't it, guys? Of course Walt's got like a frickin' ice pack over his eye. And they're just like, oh yeah, son, can't wait to do it next year. Okay, so meanwhile, I kind of sandwiched the humorous parts in between one really serious storyline. And my serious storyline involves Jesse.
Okay.
So at this point in Jesse's storyline, he's got all the money in the world. He just doesn't know what to do with it. He's got no one. And the one thing he still has is he still wants to, have a family. So essentially what he does, he comes up to the doorstep of, his actual parents' place and whatnot, dressed up as Santa with gifts and everything, and their parents, being the conservative assholes that they are, frankly, kick him out. They're like, look, Jesse, like, we're glad that you're doing better. We're glad that you can support yourself, but Jake doesn't need to see you like this.
We don't approve of Santa Claus here.
What?
We don't approve of Santa Claus here.
Yeah, exactly. But Jake, he's watching from the background, and Jake, Jesse's brother, you can see just right away, just from his first appearance, you can see he's very bothered. So Jesse running away, Jesse runs away, but Jake chases after him, and Jake asks Jesse a question that just completely just breaks Jesse's heart. You want to know what it is?
I would like to know very much what it is.
Hey, Jesse, do you know where I could get some of that blue?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's nice.
That's a storyline that I've always wanted to put into Breaking Bad.
I thought you've always wanted to do it with Walter Jr.
Walter Jr. kind of served his purpose in another way towards the end. With Jesse's brother, I just feel like Jesse's brother just never really got brought up again, and his whole thing was like, oh man, he's smoking the pot, God knows what else he's going to get himself into. So
That's a good point.
So yeah, and then Jesse leaves exactly one crystal for his brother. He's just like, here, just fucking take it. Just take it. Very, very disgruntled about it, Yeah. All right, so you ready for Saul Goodman going Christmas shopping?
One sec. I love that, just the title, but one sec. So he took the blue meth from Jesse, right?
Uh-huh.
Making sure, so Jesse willingly handed over.
Willingly, but very begrudgingly.
Then he just left?
Yeah.
Did he say anything? Or just give it to him and left?
Not really. They just kind of go their separate ways. He might say something like, like don't smoke it all in one place or something like that. I don't know.
Like Merry Bleeping Christmas?
Yeah.
Alright.
Merry Christmas, fucking junkie bitch.
I don't think he'd be that harsh on him, but definitely less.
He might be.
But, I mean, he himself is kind of a junkie.
Yes, and also kind of a bitch.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's the oxymoron of that character.
Right.
Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Continue on. I really want to hear about this Sal Goodman shopping. Please tell me.
Okay, so Sal Goodman, he's got everyone else kind of taken care of. The one person on his list that he still got is Huel.
I knew it!
Yeah. He needs to know what Huel is going to want for Christmas. So he is in a Best Buy, of all places.
Oh, God.
And he's having a conversation with Ted, your local average everyday Best Buy salesperson. Hey, how you doing? I'm Ted.
Wait, Ted Beneke at Best Buy now?
No, I just pulled the name Ted out my.
It'd be hilarious if that was Ted Beneke.
No, it's not Ted Beneke. It's some young kid.
I'm kidding. Please keep going.
How about his name's Freddie? Hey, what's up, man? My name's Freddie. I'm your local Best Buy representative. How can I help you?
Kind of like Chad.
Yeah, exactly.
Chad? Okay,
yeah.
So Chad.
I didn't want it to actually be Chad, but I wanted it to be like in the same style as Chad. So, essentially, the conversation breaks down like, okay, so I've got this bodyguard, really loyal, except I don't really know what he likes to do. Like, he
knows how to sit. He likes to sit. That's all I know.
He likes to sit. He likes to sit. Yes, that's very important. He likes to sit.
And he likes to sleep on money, but I can't give him that.
And I know he might be into African American culture. That's just a guess. All right, so let's see. You're looking with a guy with a lot of time on his hands, and wants to get into some black culture. Well, Mr. Goodman, I'd kindly recommend the complete series of The Wire.
Oh, God.
So Saul gives Huel, yes, indeed, the last season of The Wire.
The last?
The whole series.
I think it'd be hilarious if you just gave him the last season. It'd be a lousy gift.
Why not? He just, sure.
Well, I mean, it depends. Do you want a lousy gift or a good gift?
No, it's a lousy gift, actually.
Then it's the last season. It's like, here's the thing. They only have the last season.
It's like, oh, gee, well, like, they don't have any of the complete sets, and they don't have season 1. And he's just like, oh, well, I don't know, maybe... Well, I guess, he's just confused. I guess maybe Sal's just confused about seasons or something. And he's like, oh, season 6? Does that mean there's 6 times as many episodes? Or something like that.
Right.
And so,
Wait, let's just give him the complete series. Like, it's a little far-fetched. He gives him the complete series of The Wire.
Okay, and my joke is that Hugh already has it. And he's like, man, what do you think I do all day sitting around my ass watching? Okay, but I haven't gotten to the best one of all. You ready for the best one of all?
Go ahead.
Okay, Badger and Skinny Pete.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Gift of the Magi?
Is that the thing where, like, I sold your hair to get the combs?
Right.
Right. I never know the title of that. I just remember, like, the story. Okay, so yeah, that sort of scenario. Okay, good.
So essentially, Badger and Skinny Pete, they're hiding out in a hotel. They know that they're kind of on limited funds, but they want to buy each other something for Christmas, something for the holidays. But, they kind of set a price limit. And,
One question. Sorry, would these be vignettes, or would these been all interconnected to each other?
Let's just call it vignettes.
I like vignettes, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of a neat idea.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going. Sorry, keep going. So at the hotel, they set a price limit.
Yeah, so they set a price limit, and, but unfortunately, each each of them, each of them, they want to get each other, maybe like a little, a little teeth of the blue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but unfortunately, the prices have gone up, and instead of being 300 a teenth, it's 350 a teenth. But they get in anyways, and then the two find out that they each got each other meth, and so they both exchange it for little $10 pipes that they buy at their local smoke shop.
Wait, what was their price limit?
What?
What was their price limit?
$300.
It was exactly $300.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, my point is that they could have bought each other stashes of meth, but that ended up being too much. So instead, they both bought each other a pipe. But so now they're just like, well, golly gee whiz, we have pipes, but we don't have any meth. Oh, well, it's the thought that counts, bro. And besides, we're supposed to be in the 10 steps anyways.
That's funny.
That's it. That's my Breaking Bad Christmas. The end.
Alright, okay. I guess this one was the first one I got where I was going to have this one on my mind in terms of setting, because I always loved this season.
Uh-huh.
At least I kind of loved this point in Breaking Bad's history, is it felt just so more, felt almost like a different series when you really look at it. I love Season 1 of Breaking Bad. This is like right in that gap between Season 1 and Season 2. So it's right before Season 2. Anyway, so, let's see, so, it's called, Blue Christmas. And, if you really want to stretch, you could say both of these take place if there are two Christmas specials, if you want to. But, yeah, it's a stretch. Anyway, so, okay, so again, it's set right before Season 2. So at this point, there's before all the Jane stuff happened, and more importantly, it's before the second cell phone discovery.
Right.
The only stretch I really have with this is, okay, this is after they made the arrangement with Tuco, but it's before the fatality somehow. So the idea is like they were working with Tuco longer.
Okay.
So essentially, it's before he killed them, and then they're really calculating how much money they needed exactly. It was more so like, what if things were successful for a while with Tuco? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they did pull off the methylamine heist. That's very important. They did steal the methylamine. So the meth is blue now. It's what if that one guy didn't say something stupid until the next meeting?
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. I'm just trying to condense this.
Of course, you know who you're working for. What the fuck you mean they know? Of course. What the fuck is that? Why would you say that? Of course they know who they're working for. They're not fucking stupid.
So we start the thing. Basically, it starts with it's snowing blue meth, because I love that shot. I want to put it in there again.
Oh god, of course.
Snowing blue meth as Walt and Jesse, they finish up a cook, and they've taken the advice, taking Jesse's advice, and now they're not meeting at a junkyard. They're meeting in the mall actually.
Right.
And they're delivering. They delivered the shipment to Tuco, and Tuco has the deal. It was kind of a strange deal with the meth here. So basically, they get payment from Tuco, plus a bonus. So basically, it's like one second. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should mention Walt's overall thing for this episode is he's making a lot of money now, and he wants to make this Christmas count for the family. He wants a Christmas to dazzle him because he's really factoring. He doesn't have many Christmases left.
Okay.
Remember, Season 1 Breaking Bad, he's just concerned. He's convinced he'll die by the end of Season 1 in his mind.
Sure.
I think it's really a lot of urgency for Walt in the first season. So, essentially, he gets payment for Tuco for this shipment of meth. And he's contracted to do another shipment of meth, but he's being paid half of that in advance right now as a Christmas bonus.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So one's done, and the other one that's going to be done is going to get full payment for that once it's done. He's getting an additional half as a bonus. The point is he's got extra money to burn. But the delivery date for payment is going to be like after Christmas. So between Christmas and it's going to be after Christmas and before New Year's.
Okay.
That's when the second half's going to be delivered. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's see. One is so at the mall. Meanwhile, going through the characters real quick. So Junior and Skylar, they're still coming to terms with Walt having cancer. They're trying to make the best of Christmas for Walt because he wants to have a big Christmas. They're trying to make it good for him. Hank's at the DAA Christmas party, and he makes a break in the methylamine heist, where he's looking at surveillance tape. Essentially, somehow he traced how he found out what store the masks were bought at.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that's never really addressed. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch. That as long as he comes up cold in the end, he could find the place.
Right.
This is important though. So he finds out where the masks were sold. So that's a big old lead right there. Anyway, so we see the White family goes to the mall for not for last minute shopping, but more so for decorations and additional shopping.
Uh-huh.
So the full White family's there, everyone, Hank, Junior, you name it. So meanwhile, we see Hank and Walt, they're kind of paired up together, and essentially Hank's doing last minute shopping. Walt's doing some additional shopping to get some cooler stuff, and basically.
Cool.
Yeah, and anyway, so like Hank's at the jewelry. They're both at a jewelry store. Like, I think Walt buys like something cheap because he doesn't have that much money to burn. But he's something cheap, but it's a really nice gem, and it's blue too. It's like blue related for Skylar. It's like his indirect way of saying, "Yeah, I'm making meth, but it's for her."
Yeah.
Well, right off as like a birthstone or something. Skylar is concerned about Marie because bear in mind they had that fight. They didn't make up yet.
True.
It's still pretty tense between the two of them because they make up after Walt goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they make peace. They make a truce for the holidays for Junior's sake because Junior's paired off with them, I suppose.
Okay.
Meanwhile, at the mall, at the same time, Jesse runs into Badger and Skinny Pete, who are Badger's a mall Santa and Skinny Pete's an elf.
Of course.
And Jesse gives him the gift of meth for the holiday, saying, "Oh, how much will you, Jesse?" "Yeah, don't worry, that's my Christmas gift to you guys." "Thanks, man." Essentially, basically saying, "Well, what are you guys doing? You're just raising money for Christmas. Get some Christmas fundage, more of that blue stuff. Well, here's some for free," pretty much like that.
Wow.
Yeah, later on they're going to be at the. Later on, they're all going to be at a Christmas party together. It's the three of them.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, okay, this is important. So Hank and Walt are. Remember, Jesse's in the mall. You remember that.
Sure.
They're at a clothing store and Hank's asking about the ski mask. Walt doesn't know why he's in there. He's just like looking for his additional clothes, but then he picks up on the fact that Hank's asking the guy about the ski mask. Like, can you give me like a receipt of people who bought ski masks on this day?
Uh-huh.
Which is not good. So he's tracking down, like, it's before this day. He's kind of pinpointed like the week of sales. Anyway, so Walt panics and he's trying to hide his face from the guy. So he didn't wear a mask. Walt the thing. So essentially, Hank gets a list of names from the receipts. So Walt's very nervous. He's walking with Hank, and essentially they pass Jesse in the mall. So Jesse passes by, like before Hank can get a second look. Walt distraction because Walt's in panic mode right now. He glances across this thing and a miracle happens. He sees Marie shoplifting. He says, "Oh, Hank, what's going on with Marie over there?" He says, "Oh, Marie, darn it!" He goes over to deal with it, and then basically Walt quickly grabs Jesse around the corner and says, Jesse. He's very frantic, basically telling about the situation. Jesse saying, "Like, what did you do?" He's like, "Okay, Hank's on to us because I bought the. I told you to buy a better mask. It still wouldn't solve the problem." Point is, look, I'll take care of it. Just you're informed now, okay? Just get out of the mall. Pretty much.
Oh,
basically, Jesse makes a quick escape. It's funny. Anyway, so we see the Whites are getting a party together. Walt's. Meanwhile, Walt's plotting a way out of this situation. He's still worried. Hank confronts Marie about the shoplifting and he's also looking into receipts.
Uh-huh.
Now, Walt's plan here. Walt has a plan. He's formulated a plan. Essentially, Walt has bought another ski mask while he was there. And what he's doing is that he's kind of hold on a second. Scholars. Oh yeah, I should mention, like, Scholars cut Maria a holiday break. Now she's again letting bygones be bygones. Walt's plan is basically give the ski mask as a gift to Hank.
Right. Okay.
So basically, he's saying, he's running off as, oh yeah, I bought this ages ago, Hank. It's for you. At Merry Christmas. So essentially, it's kind of a clever solution, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it's justifying the ski mask, and like Hank would be looking at the paper saying, "What the Walter White?" And like Hank's mulling over, like, how's he gonna bring this up to Walt? But then Walt says, "Merry Christmas, Hank." If the weather gets colder, if you ever go, and if the weather gets cold, the mountain ranges, the winds can get really intense. You might want to use that.
After all, the bald head, it's like I personally know what that's like, buddy. So come on.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting solution, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. So meanwhile, festivities for Jesse and the gang are interrupted by Gonzo. That's Tuco's guy.
Right.
And Gonzo is informing him that the 25th is now the delivery date, so it's literally on Christmas.
Okay.
And essentially now Jesse is going into panic mode, and he basically has to get to Mr. White now, and it's Christmas Eve, I should remind you. It's Christmas Eve. They still have meth to make, and he can't call Mr. White because it's Christmas time, or he's not picking up the phone. So he comes up with a plan, and basically, first of all, it's scary that Gonzo knew where Jesse was right now.
Oh yeah.
That's intimidating. Is Jesse's scared out of his mind, plus he knows Tuco doesn't like him. So basically, Jesse formulates a plan. He sees Badger's in the Santa costume, I should mention, while they're doing meth with each other in the place partying. So basically, he says, "Badger, I need a favor." And then we see, okay, so we're at the Walt's Christmas party, and things are actually going well for Walt. Things are going well, but then guess who walks in? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Ho, ho. It's Jesse in a Santa suit. Basically saying hello, and also I want to point that the Marie really takes a liking to him. like there would be a bit where Marie sits on his lap, taking a picture or something.
No, hey, come on! I think it's fun.
No, it is. That's hilarious because I love in the commentaries how Betsy. What's the last name? Betsy Brandt?
Betsy Brandt.
Yeah, Betsy Brandt loves Aaron Paul, and she enjoys him very much when they have a lot of fun together. Yeah. It'd be funny if those two could interact a little more. They only had interactions like season 5.
But when they did interact, I felt like it was well worth the wait.
Yeah, but I could have used more. It was fun. Point is, so basically, inadvertently interacting with during Walt is panicking. He's like, he realizes who the Santa is, and then he basically goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna talk to Santa on the outside real quick. You guys just stay in their parties real quick." What are you doing? Are you insane? What are you doing, you idiot? You junkie idiot! Basically, finds out from Jesse. Okay, time is a big old factor here.
Oh yeah.
Also, I should mention Ted Beneke's at the Christmas party, and members of the DEA.
Oh no.
And also their neighbor Carol. Remember the whole season 5? Carol drops groceries. And the oranges. Godfather oranges. So the point is, it's a really tense situation. The members of the DA are there, Ted Beneke's there, Carol's there, everyone's there in the neighborhood or at the White House. Jesse is he's talking to Walt, basically saying, okay, we gotta make this cooking, we gotta make it fast, because Duke is gonna kill us. And there's also Walt informing, okay, we're safe with Hank, but still, then more as soon as one bullet's dodged, another one's screaming to him. And basically, in a hilarious scene, they're cooking meth at the speed of light. And I want to say Jesse would be in the Santa suit doing it, but I don't know if it'd be too much or not. The point is, they'd be doing it, but to the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So making a quick thing. Basically, Walt be shouting at Jesse too. No, the other way, the other way. And basically they'd be kind of exhausted by the end of it.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great.
So it's also it might get a little faster. It might be sped up a little towards the end, like just during the montage too. Anyway, so we see the deal. We see the deal being made. Also, Walt probably makes like an error excuse. Oh, we're out of like cranberry sauce or something. Like a lame excuse. He wasn't that good at lying yet. Anyway, so the whole thing is special too would be like Walt. I guess internally, Walt had been reflecting on kind of the family and the choices he's made. You know how close he's kind of brought his family to the edge here. Like the big chance that Jesse took coming here.
Right.
Basically, I should have mentioned earlier with that last special I told you about. The thing I was hitting is that Walt lost his family in that respect. His real family was Jesse, who he kind of reached to on an emotional level during Christmas. So he lost one family into kind of his crime family, so to speak. But now here he's just kind of saying he's reflecting on the family and the choices he's made to. He's holding his family close by the fire now. So basically, Jesse made the deal on his own. Walt's back at the house, sitting by the fireplace, reflecting on like the choices he's made to protect family, like the killing of Crazy 8, sorry, I mean like this, the killing of Crazy 8, the success of the meth, the blowing up of Tuco's place. So he's just reflecting on that in his mind. I guess maybe a quick like flashes,
right?
Like, something, and he's kind of gets a smile, like, man, this is exciting, sort of thing. Exciting but dangerous, but exciting but dangerous. And then, like, the last bit would have been kind of a flashback to just what happened after the deal. Basically, saying to Jesse saying to Walt, and it's important. Jesse saying to Walt, "Merry Christmas, Mr. White." So we would have jumped back a scene to see after the deal was made. I guess. After the deal was made, basically walking away, and Walt would be exhausted after what just happened, and they basically saying, "Hey, Mr. White, Merry Christmas." Basically saying, we went through this crazy ordeal, but to another year of survival sort of type thing.
Right, for sure.
So essentially, he'd be saying Merry Christmas, Mr. White, and if you did count the other one in continuity of this fake continuity I just created, it would be like he said it to him this time, and the next time. Then next time Walt would be Jesse was reaching out to Walt this time, and next time Walt was reaching out to Jesse, being the other one doesn't respond to it.
Yeah. All right.
What do you think?
Oh, excuse me. No, it's really good. I really like all the tension that you have. It's very classic, like season 2 Breaking Bad. It really fits with the time period you put it in. All the lying, all the going behind the family's back and everything, the intense situations, the, "Jesse, what are you doing here, you idiot?" All very appropriate.
I just love this kind of the thought of Marie sitting on Jesse's lap.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm surprised at some point that didn't happen in the actual...
Also, maybe if you want to stretch a little further, Jesse sitting down there and... It'd be a sister shot, just to show they kind of come around. They patch things up for the holiday, like Junior saying, "Give them the photo, Mom." And then it'd be Skylar and Marie sitting on Jesse's lap.
Jesse, or is she like looking at it like this kid looks familiar, or what?
Yeah, she'll be looking at it like, I get kind of a familiar vibe of this Santa Claus. Basically, she wouldn't recognize him. Walt be looking like he'd realize in that moment that, oh my God, it's Jesse.
Right.
Jesse, kind of like a Seinfeld moment, like Newman, Jesse.
All right, yeah, I like it. And what do you think of mine overall?
Overall, I like it. You get some really good moments there. The idea of vignettes is cool. I think you just kind of reorder some of the vignettes. You might want to end on Walter,
Okay, yeah,
Aside from that,
right.
just aside from some rearranging, I think it was good. What do you think? Which one do you like better? Do you like the season 5 or the season 1?
Honestly, I probably like the season one a little better.
Season what?
Yeah,
No, I didn't hear it. What season?
season one.
Right.
Yeah.
Was 5 too grandiose?
Uh, I mean, I like where you're going with it. I like the ambition, but yeah, maybe having so much of it be a dream scene, not necessarily
But it'd
on
be
par with a lot of Breaking Bad.
well, we've only got one dream sequence in Breaking Bad, technically.
That's what I'm saying. So the
Yeah,
fact that
you're
you're
right.
doing an episode where it's like all this big dream
Well,
sequence.
no, it's more like the second act's a dream sequence, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah,
And the point, yeah, thing is, it would have been the only time we ever got dream scenes is when Walt's in the trunk and he hallucinates Skylar's there.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like something we'd never gotten before, and basically be the ultimate fan service to Breaking Bad, seeing all the moments having impacted Walt, and then the ending would be kind of a supernatural thing of Walt encountering himself standing on his own neck, saying the iconic lines. Pretty much, I'll admit, but it was just kind of thrown together, but still, it was just that fun image in my head, like a Christmas Carol for Breaking Bad, basically him being confronted with himself at the end, saying the most fan servicey lines, like "I'm the one who knocks." And basically standing on his neck and then saying, "Say my name." But how intimidating is that if you were Walt Tiki? It's kind of being faced with kind of the monster you've
Essentially
turned
the
into.
message essentially the message is that it's like it's the monster that you created directly confronting you.
It all started with a hat.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think we came up with some really good ones tonight. This is fun.
Yeah.
All right, so next time on Christmas in July, tomorrow we've got a little bit of a two-header for you guys tonight. We're going to start out with the Rugrats Hanukkah special. Oh boy, yes, kind of a little deviation from the usual Christmas. And Monkey will be joining us for that. And then BlueDragonFive, what else are we going to be doing tomorrow?
Let's see, we are also, yeah, we're hitting into Cartoon Network territory, aren't we? The second one?
Yes, we are.
We're going to be talking about kind of the thing that started this whole show.
Indeed.
Pretty much. Ed and Eddie, Christmas in July.
Christmas in July. The titular Christmas in July. Oh, man.
It's the first time I ever heard the term was on that show, so that's what started this whole shindig for me, at least.
Oh, this whole mess that we've gotten ourselves into. And it's worth noting that that show will be me, BlueDragonFive, Monkey, and Adventure Blue Dude. So it'll be probably the only Christmas in July where all four of our crew is together. So yay.
Four not so wise men.
No, not wise at all. Oh God. So yes, that is it. And I'd say it's safe to say we came up with a few little interesting formulas of our own. And Breaking Bad is all about formula. Is that right? Oh yes.
Oh, big time.
And so we want to create our ultimate holiday formula.
Which is 3556. No, I'm kidding. It's, how are we going to do that? Yeah, we're going to find that true formula on that periodic table of Christmas.
The same way we do it every night of Christmas in July, Jesse. By putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope and then cooking it on Christmas in July.
Yo.
Ding, ding, ding.